So today we are going to talk about editorial writing. So if you guys remember last week, we just went through kind of the ethics of journalism and all of that fun stuff, and we started to talk about editorial writing. So now we're going to talk about the specifics of it and really how to craft an editorial piece. And then starting this week, you guys will start writing about your topics that you chose. So we'll just get into it. We're going to start with considerations. And also, again, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. But we'll start with considerations. These 5 questions are going to be, what can I accomplish by writing this editorial? Because you want what you're writing to have a purpose. And that's kind of obvious because everything you read in the newspaper right now, you have an interest in, presumably. And then second, will the topic interest readers? Because again, you want to keep everybody interested in what you are reading. And you want it to be relevant and you want it to be, you want to engage the readers. And then 3, if needed, is there a solution? So whatever you're talking about and analyzing and you want to maybe propose a solution, or maybe you just want to leave it up to the reader to find something, your choice, but oftentimes it's nice to propose a solution. So maybe if my editorial is about, like, should students use more technology in the classroom, if your stance is no, that they shouldn't use more technology in the classroom, you should provide something else that would help solve the problem instead of using more technology. Like maybe you can say, use technology half of the time, and then the other half of the time can be dedicated to reading books or something like that. Number 4, do I have all the facts? So this is kind of obvious, as goes with all of the rest of journalistic stories. Do you have all the facts? Also, will publishing this editorial promote the interests of the school or community? Because anything you publish, you want to have a purpose, again, and what you write can have a big impact. And then remember that even a negative viewpoint can have a positive effect. So you can say, like, what currently we're doing is not working, but that can help maybe the administration or your community realize that, this is a really big problem that we haven't seen before, but we need to solve the problem instead of not doing anything to solve it. Okay, so then when it comes to journalistic writing, you always want to research and then analyze. So what this means is you don't want to just start writing without knowing what you're talking about, which is what you should do with any type of writing, is you should research first. But it's important, especially important in journalistic writing. So we'll talk about sources. So when you're sourcing your editorial articles or your news articles, but we'll start with the editorial articles, you want reliable sources, but this goes for all types of journalistic writing. So as I said last time, read from respected news publications. I like the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, and the Los Angeles Times. For national news, I think the Washington Post is probably the best. The Wall Street Journal is also really good. That focuses a lot on business. And then the New York Times also really good, but that focuses a lot on New York. And then the LA Times focuses a lot on Los Angeles. So if you're looking for specifics, just keep all of those in mind when choosing which sources and where to look. But all 4 of those papers really good. Any other respected news publications that I've missed? Maybe like local newspapers, like the Chicago Tribune is good. The San Francisco Chronicle, regional papers like that are kind of like the Los Angeles Times are also really good. And then besides those, we have respected magazines. So like Time, The New Yorker, Economist. I don't know if you guys have looked at those before, but The New Yorker and The Economist are kind of more longer form essays. So those tend to be editorial essays in themselves, and the writers are intertwining creative writing with news and their opinions on current events and all of that. And then Time is a good magazine if you're looking for specific things, and also if you're looking maybe for like something about the Earth, you can go to like National Geographic. And then what unreliable sources are include like tabloids, and then personal blogs are usually unreliable as well, unless you're trying to research a specific person and maybe it's their personal blog or something like that. But um, just keep in mind your best judgment when you're reading these sources, as always. Know when things seem respected, when they don't. And if you're looking for a niche piece of information that maybe you can find only in this one magazine that doesn't seem really reliable, maybe don't use it, or try and look for it in a more respected publication. So also with sources, you can interview or talk to like authority figures and actually talk to people on the phone or by email, all of that fun stuff. That goes more for like news writing and feature writing, but for opinion writing, you want to just get some background or collect some opinions. Talking to people is a really good place to start. So these sources can include professors if you're writing about like a topic that they might know a lot about, or if you're writing about your school community, administrators. And then you can also rely on like polling data from surveys. So any information that you can collect, you should put into your article, and as much information and as many different sources as you have, you should put those in there as well. But keep in mind for opinion articles, you don't usually put quotes in, like large block quotes. You can maybe quote a sentence or two from like an authority figure, or a quote that really summarizes your point and hits it exactly on the head with what you want to say. But for the most part, editorials should be your own voice and your own opinion. So you don't want to rely too much on other people's quotes as you would in a news article or features article. Okay, so given all of that, a good editorial writer does the research first and then decides what stance to take. So this is kind of counterintuitive, because I know when I asked you to think of a topic that you really want to write about, you probably think, well, what's something I want to write about and what is my opinion on it? And the first part is great. What is something I'm passionate about, or what do I want to look into more? But then your second step should be to research. So what you should do is you should read everything from your sources, look into the issue more, decide where do I stand on this issue, and then you can start writing. But you shouldn't go into your research thinking, I want to only research into this one side of the argument. So I don't want to go into my research saying, I know technology is bad, so let me find all the information about how technology is bad. I want to read everything about technology that I can find, and then I want to decide, do I think technology is good or do I think it's bad? And then if I ultimately decide maybe it's good, then I can start looking more for specifics into that. But just be careful when you're writing editorials, because this is a common mistake. So just remember, research first, then take your opinion, and then you can start to write. So, okay, now you're ready to write. And this is the fun part. So, in an opinion article, much like an English essay, there are three parts. There's the lead, and then that's like the beginning part where you state your point. And then there are facts to support the stand. So that's like the main body of your paragraph or your of your article, and then the conclusion. And the conclusion is at the end when you summarize all your points and really drive your opinion home to the reader about why they should believe this or that, or whatever you are supporting in your article. Okay, so part one is the lead, as we said, and this is where you put your stance. And a tendency is to kind of write in circles about what you think your stand is, or write about give a lot of examples about what your stand is, but not putting it actually coming out and saying it directly and putting it up in the lead. And that's what you should do. You should, um, right in the very beginning, you should tell your readers, this is what I believe. You shouldn't wait till the very end to tell them, this is what I believe. Because then the reader will be kind of confused reading the rest of your opinion. And it's a better place to start by just coming outright and saying, this is what I am going to tell you about, and this is what the rest of the article is about. You also, in this lead, make sure that your readers are really, really into what you're going to tell them, and you want to keep them there. You don't want to provide a boring first sentence that they might be able to find in another article. You want to convince them to read your article because it would be worth their time and a very good read. And then usually the lead is the first paragraph or two. If you wanted to, you could put it right in the first sentence, but it definitely needs to be introduced very early on, just so that your reader knows where you're going. But a lot of times, figurative or descriptive, like language and sentences, can help grab the reader's attention. So we're going to look at some examples. Okay. Can someone read number one for me? And then I want you to tell me if these leads take a stand or not. So does the writer put their opinion in this right off the bat? So does someone want to volunteer for me?
I will.
Okay, go ahead.
And I think it does take a stand because the writer shows his opinion that it was a wise decision to start school in
Right,
August.
perfect. So Joshua got it perfect, actually. Because what tells the reader what your stand is were those few words, made a wise decision. And that's the other thing. Word choice is really, really important in editorial articles. You are allowed to use your words to portray your stance as opposed to um, keeping objective news coverage. So perfect. Does someone want to read the second one?
I don't think that it takes a stand because I thought that it was kind of, they used repetitive wording.
Yeah, so I agree with you. Yeah, so they don't take a stand because it's just saying that it's just telling you what happened. It's not giving you a stance. It's just saying, this happened, but a lot of people didn't know about it. So that is an example of a bad lead.